What happened to Belle Delphine? She hasn't posted anywhere in months. There aren't a lot of traces of her left. A deleted Facebook page, a banned Instagram that used to have millions of followers, and a plethora of accounts dormant for 6 months or more. On the information highway, 6 months is a lifetime. Many people have already forgotten about her like another broken down car on the side of the road. But not me. I bought her bathwater, ran tests on it. Then I planted a bonsai tree with it. Seriously. Sometimes I look at that tree and wonder, did she really quit for good? She seemingly had it all. The wealth, the fame, all the trappings of a world who followed her like moths to a flame. But then as quickly as she lit up, she burnt out and disappeared. Or did she? Belle might have stopped posting on all her social media, but I've uncovered some traces of her on the internet as recent as 4 months after her latest post anywhere. We can piece this information I've found together and make an educated guess about what she's up to now. Other YouTubers have made videos speculating about what happened to Belle, and I've watched them. From what I've seen, nobody else has this information. And nobody as popular as Belle just goes away without a trace. To understand the internet's most famous femme fatale's fall from grace, we need to understand where she came from. Mary Belle Kirshner got her start posting cosplay photos on Facebook. Her page is gone now, but it must have been at least somewhat successful, since her first video on YouTube is a makeup tutorial for Facebook fans. This was posted in August of 2016, and is one of the only videos on the internet where she uses her normal voice. And she isn't in the Belle Delphine character that we all know.
So now that I've got this and I've brought it down below my lash line, I'm just going to fill it in now.
But this video didn't light a spark immediately. In fact, she didn't pass 1,000 YouTube subscribers until over a year later. Then, in September of 2018, she made her first Instagram post. This is when everything started to click for Belle. What followed was a wild ride of cosplay photos, bizarre wardrobes, and lewd content. But it was more than just a dame playing dress-up. She was always eager to remind us that she wasn't like other girls. Usually when this phrase is uttered, it's little more than a vain attempt to stand out while actually going along with the flow of traffic. But with Belle, she never hesitated to pose with blood or raw meat, or praise the big man downstairs. It was an unspoken creed. She really wasn't like other girls. Now that her career was firing on all cylinders, she decided to expand. Success in one lane of the internet these days isn't enough to make it. Farming likes on pretty photos doesn't pay the bills, and Belle knew it. She was able to drive Instagram fans over to Patreon like a girl driving her dog to the vet. The dog doesn't know where all this is going, but it's just happy to be along for the ride. And ride they did. Just a month after posting her first photo on Instagram, Belle's Patreon was making $2,000 a month. After that, she hid the earning statistic, but the number of patrons continued to skyrocket. At its peak, her Patreon had over 4,400 people paying for content. That's a lot of sick puppies. Belle's career kept flying down the road at maximum speed, and it turned out that Belle's fan base was very rabid and extremely thirsty. People kept commenting on her pictures and videos that they would literally drink her bathwater, and that gave Belle an idea.
Rise up, gamer boys. It's time to get your gamer girl bathwater.
At $30 a pop, she sold out in under 48 hours. Selling her bathwater put the internet into a fever pitch of Belle Delphine frenzy. But it also brought out even more trolls. What most of them didn't know at the time is that Belle had a troll side herself. In June of 2019, Belle posted this photo on Instagram saying if she got 1 million likes, she would make a yellow YouTube account. That's not the actual name of the site, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The post got almost 2 million likes, and Belle delivered. In a way, she posted titles and thumbnails that would make the most clever clickbait con artist covetous. But every video was just a play on words, technically delivering on what the title promised, but in the most safe for work way possible. Ironically, her content on this website is some of the cleanest stuff she ever put out. This girl was teaching a master class on how to troll, and we were all her students. This is where things took a turn for the worse. A lot of people got mad at Belle for her trolling, and felt like they had somehow been cheated out of something. So they decided to take something from her. They mass reported her Instagram, and within a month from riding the high of selling bathwater and yellow YouTube trolling, in July 2019, Belle was banned from Instagram. At the same time, Belle started getting a ton of backlash about her bathwater stunt. People were claiming to have been hospitalized from it, though this was never verified. The most popular accusation about her bathwater was that it gave everyone who touched it herpes. I can personally tell you this one isn't true, although I did wear big rubber gloves when handling it for the meme. On the surface, Belle took it all in stride. She knows you can't feed the trolls or they'll just keep getting bigger and talking more, like a mouse that asks for a cookie. She claimed the ban was just a misunderstanding and that she would soon have her Instagram account back, but her content told a different story. Her last post on Patreon was on July 10th of 2019. She took her merchandise site down too. Some opportunistic scammers quickly put up a website that was an exact clone of Belle's merch site, selling bathwater for $250 and even other things. This fake website was eventually taken down too. This leaves just Twitter and YouTube as the last two sites where she's posted anything publicly in almost a year. She continued to promote her Patreon and Snapchat on Twitter until August 5th, 2019, when she abruptly stopped. Updates from her became increasingly scarce, and she started to quickly fade from the collective memory of the internet, like trying to remember a weird dream after you've woken up. She was silent until October of 2019, when she claimed someone stole her hamster. In retaliation, Belle spray-painted the thief's car, which she was quickly arrested for. A lot of people have questioned how much, if any, of this actually happened. The mugshot is of dubious nature, and it doesn't seem any other Metropolitan Police mugshots have watermarks like hers does. Arrest records aren't public in the UK like they are in the US, so there's not a way for us to verify that this happened. Then in November of 2019, she posted her last scrap of public content anywhere. A 12-minute video called How to Become Belle Delphine. This video is easily the most disturbing thing she's made. She plays with raw meat, knives, razor blades, blood, and makes references to having a broken heart, no father, being lonely, being afraid of becoming irrelevant, feeling like a mistake, being deeply unhappy, and even joking that she'll be dead by 30. The whole thing seems like a tongue-in-cheek cry for help, masked by gross-out antics. I genuinely can't watch this entire video without feeling sick, but it's clear she's trying to communicate that she's unhappy. Whether she actually is or not, only she can know, but the video's tone is darker than anything she's ever posted when you listen to what she's saying. It seems like she wanted to voice her frustrations or unhappiness, but she knows people on the internet just see her as a commodity, or worse. The curse of being self-aware. She hasn't posted anything anywhere since then. 6 months. But, like a superhero movie with a scene after the credits, this story doesn't end where you think it does. While all the antics were playing out on stage like a frantic Broadway show gone wrong, there were things going on behind the curtain. Belle was on the main stage for all to see, but a production has never been successful without help from someone behind the scenes. Let's rewind the clock to the month Belle was banned from Instagram, July 2019. She went on a trip to Greece that she talked about on Twitter. Maybe she took the Instagram ban as a good opportunity to take a break from being in the spotlight. While she was in Greece, she posted this photo with what looks like an engagement ring on her hand. I did some digging, and a woman claiming to be a disgruntled ex-friend of Belle's was talking. She had a lot to say. I've redacted most of this because it's unsubstantiated rumor. But what's not a rumor is Belle's connection to this guy. He edited out her face from this photo, presumably to keep their relationship secret. But that's the sad thing about being in the spotlight. Sometimes the audience wants you to be alone. His name's Joshua, and I'm not going to show his last name or face because it's pretty obvious he wants to remain off camera. After searching for a definitive link between Joshua and Belle, I hit the jackpot. The disgruntled ex-friend Hannah had posted what she claimed to be a picture of them together, and there are photos of them using the same photography sets to take pictures. At the very least, he had to be her photographer, right? But there was more to be had here. Behind every flashy internet persona, there's a grim reality like greasy, lifeless gears working under the hood of a luxury car. They have to pay taxes, and Belle is no exception. The best way to pay taxes as an online celebrity is to set up a company. This can also help protect you from liability or bankruptcy in the event of a proverbial mechanical failure. In the UK, these company filings are public record, and I found lots of them related to Belle. The records show that in October of 2018, Belle registered a company called Belle Delphine Limited. This is the month after her first Instagram post and making her first $2,000 on Patreon, so the timing makes sense. But the company had a co-owner, Joshua. It stands to reason that Joshua was helping Belle with photography, and maybe giving her advice and support monetizing her content online. If they weren't together romantically, they were at the very least business partners. But then in the end of April 2019, only 7 months after their incorporation was filed, Joshua was completely removed from the company. Belle also changed the name of the company to Innovative Artists. At this point, I could only speculate why this happened. Did they have a falling out and decide to go their separate ways? Or was Belle just trying to cover her tracks, changing names and dissociating with Joshua to keep their relationship secret, if there was a relationship at all? This would line up with what Hannah said and add more fuel to the validity of her claims. Surprisingly, more incorporation documents would shed light under the hood. The same month Belle removed Joshua from their company, they started a new company together called Plain Jane Investments. While their previous company had been classified as an artistic creation business, Plain Jane is classified as a financial services company, specifically one that deals on its owner's account. What this means in plain English is that they can use this company to invest their own money into things like stocks, bonds, and other investments. The company is still active to this day, and Joshua and Belle each own 50%. The two of them have submitted all their required corporate filings for Plain Jane through April of 2020, and Belle has signed off on corporate documents for her company as recently as March. So, what does all of this mean? Has Belle's meme machine finally broken down for good on the side of the road, or is she just taking a pit stop to smell the roses? Only she can tell us the answer to that question. It is a striking difference to go from spending 16 hours a day creating and posting content about yourself on all facets of the internet, to going so quiet that the only traces of you are found in legally mandated corporation filings. But why would she continue to run two companies if she had no plans of ever coming back? One more sign she's still active on social media without actually posting anything? She updated her walking playlists on YouTube 2 days ago. And based on the comments from that infamous video from 6 months ago, I think the internet is ready for Belle to come back however and whenever she feels like it. I'll leave you with a snippet from an interview she gave in July of last year. I think this sums it up pretty well. Thanks for watching, and stay weird, internet.